mere seconds before we began, Elise said, "I'm gonna sit back here."
Well, because
on the couch.
our dog's over here.
He
Look at
looks like
him.
he looks like he's perfectly fine.
They can't see him.
They can. They can see. They can see plenty. They can see enough.
He has a little foot up over here. They can't see his little foot up.
I have to cover him. I have to censor him. Okay? What's on the other side of you?
Psychonauts.
Whoa!
Wow.
Is it the final bit of all the perks that I got for backing Psychonauts 2 on Fig?
I guess
think it might be. I think it might be the very last thing. Elise, why did you want to title... what's the... Please explain the title.
Because the last time we streamed it was a quick catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is a little sauce on the side.
Okay. But that was like a pun on catching up with people.
I don't know what happened. But people love it.
But
People
can you
love
explain the
it.
thumbnail then? What's up with the thumbnail?
That wasn't my idea.
Oh.
That wasn't my idea.
You were like, oh, we should go get a swimming pool and we should fill it with macaroni and cheese. And then and then we'll take a picture of us in the macaroni and cheese swimming pool and then that's the thumbnail. And I went, can't we just do something that looks like the Wicked book?
It's not the book, it's the poster.
The Wicked poster?
People can't see Remy because you're blocking him.
Oh my god. This is the most uncomfortable way to...
He's so cute.
So what's up? What's up, Elise? What's up?
What do you mean, what's up? We live together.
No, what's going on with you?
We live together. You know everything's going on.
What you been up to since I last saw you?
We saw Wicked today.
That's right. We did.
Were you surprised? Because you had never seen the musical. You haven't read the original Gregory Maguire book.
Can't read, right? Can't hear. Correct. Tone deaf? Yes. Can't read. Yes. Thus Wicked has eluded me. But I have seen Wizard of Oz. And I've seen Oz the Great and Powerful. So if we're going to talk about the movie, I have to talk through it through the lens of Oz the Great and Powerful.
No, you don't. You don't have to at all.
This one did not have Zach Braff in it, as far as I could tell. As far as I could tell. Yeah, we saw Wicked. And then Elise is like, maybe we should stream and talk about what we thought about Wicked. And
Are you able to zoom the camera in on it, Remy, at all?
Not easily, unfortunately.
I see. I asked you to hold space for Wicked. Was all I did.
God. I don't entirely know what that means.
Nobody does.
It means like listening to music, right? And like appreciating the music in the moment.
I guess so.
Like listening. That's kind of what listening to music is.
Look at you. Look at you. Oh, he's got his knees.
So yes, after much anticipation, we have the release of 2024's Wicked, starring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo and Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum and SpongeBob SquarePants. And this movie is based on...
And Tyrion Lannister.
And this movie is based on...
You think it's based?
I think it's pretty based. Yeah, I would say it's pretty based. It's based, but it's also adapted from the musical, Broadway musical, which is adapted from a book.
I have the book right there.
This is the very book that they read when they wrote those songs.
Look at what it says, the sticker on the front.
More Wicked Days Ahead, Son of a Witch, October 2005. Dating yourself.
I am. I was alive in 2003 or 4 probably.
I like that the review that they have on the cover is amazing novel, period. Not an exclamation.
Yeah.
Amazing novel.
So I think the musical only premiered in like 2004, 2005.
Okay.
The book, though, I want to say was published in the 70s, but I don't know if that's correct. You'll have to check that.
I'll check it for you. Keep talking.
And so I had read the book in high school, I guess, and then I saw the musical shortly after it started touring.
You said you liked the bestiality?
The thing that I've been saying is when I saw the musical, I only had the book as the frame of reference, which is quite dark and has some bestiality in it.
95.
95?
95 is what this says, unless this is specifically this edition. But I think 95.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And so I was like, how are they going to do this bestiality on stage? I was really concerned.
And what did they do? How did they settle on it?
They didn't do it.
Costumes.
It wasn't part of it. Look at
Costumes.
this
It works on everybody.
I love it.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Wicked. We were at a wedding last week where everyone got together and sang Defying Gravity. And that's, I think, the closest I've come to seeing it. But I also have nothing against it. I like Wizard of Oz. And I like, interpretations. I like big, bombastic musicals. Elise, as you can see, is wearing green, and I'm wearing just about as close to pink as I could get. So you can see how we align.
You're very Ariana coded.
Am I?
Yeah.
Ariana coded or Galinda coded?
Galinda, yeah. This dog's so cute. Everybody that's watching that has a pet, do you ever just do that thing where you like just stare at your
His
pet?
eyes,
and,
though.
So cute.
His eyes are like reflecting in the light.
Look, he's cute.
He's like a little demon. He looks
He
looks like we dug him up from the pet cemetery.
Sometimes dead is better.
They misspell it wrong. So we went and saw it. How are you feeling going into it? This is kind of a review. Can you spoil something that's based on a book from 1995 and a musical that's been out for 20 years? Can you spoil that?
Well, that also leads into another movie,
Yeah.
so you know exactly where it's going.
Yeah.
How did I feel going into it?
How did you feel?
I felt like I was going to be wowed by it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I was.
You were.
I cried. I laughed.
You cried. I heard both of those things.
I was impressed.
You snuck a slice of pizza in your sweater pockets into the
Okay, that's
theater?
not... What does that have to do with the movie?
I'm just framing it so people know when they're listening to your review, they have the context.
What
Okay?
does that have to do with my review?
Hey, chat, let me know if that's important context for you to know that Elise smuggled in a slice of pizza in the pocket of the very sweater she's wearing right now.
It's not the first time you've gone to the movies with someone that has hidden a piece of pizza in their pockets, James.
I know. I go see movies with you all the time.
I'm talking about Ryan Haley.
I know, but I wasn't there when he did that. That was something I found out about afterwards.
Oh, I thought you were with him.
No, I wasn't with him. He told me the story, but he also, I think if I recall, and he would want me sharing this, I think if I recall, he was over a trash can, like either pulling things out of a trash can to help him conceal the pizza, or getting rid of extra stuff. Either way, he was over a trash can with pizza and stuff as he was also shoving it into his pockets. And then a friend who he hadn't seen in like over a decade spotted him and was like, Ryan?
Wasn't it the guy that was like, had directed the movie?
It was someone who was important to the movie he was about to see. I don't know the whole details. Ask Ryan about it.
James, have you met Remy? Remy the dog?
Yeah, I've met him. Plenty.
He's so cute.
I hold space for Remy.
Can you believe nobody wanted this?
Yeah. Yeah, I can believe it. He doesn't photograph well.
Nobody wanted this.
He's so demanding. Okay. So we're in the theater. Lights go down. Nicole Kidman walks on. For your first thought, nobody better flip and sing.
Yeah, I was very much in the camp of nobody should be singing during this movie. Unless you're attending a specifically sing-along or you've rented your own theater. That's something you can do at AMC right now for Wicked. Nobody should be singing in this thing. And because I had seen horror stories on Reddit from people saying that they were in a theater and there was like a birthday party of 20 11-year-olds who were just obnoxious or whatever.
Is this movie for 11-year-olds? I mean, let me say, I think kids can watch movies of all ages. God forbid, God knows I watched whatever I wanted when I was young.
Oz knows.
Oz knows.
In the movie, there's no God.
Yeah.
So they say Oz. Or I guess Oz, the man, is of a kind of omnipotent status.
They treat him like a religious figure almost. They sometimes change the words, like confusiate.
Yeah, they've got like a little bit of
I thought they were line flubs. To be honest with you.
idiosyncrasies in their language.
To be honest with you, I thought they were line flubs. Kept them in.
More than 1 million copies in print.
And that's as of 19 or whenever this new
probably,
cover
this
is.
I probably got this
new
2003 maybe or.
Let's see, we'll find out in the back.
Well,
that says 95.
That's just the copyright.
I know, but sometimes it says what the cover art age is.
Yeah, and the copyright for the cover is 95 too. Let's see if it has the printing. Copyright. No, nobody watching cares about this.
So yeah, my immediate reaction to it, knowing nothing about it, because I thought watching it and hearing about it, I was like, okay, it's the origin of the Wicked Witch.
Yep.
But it's also kind of like this, like Harry Potter-esque. They're at school. And so I thought, and also given the cover art, I thought it was going to be the thing where like Galinda is mean to her, right? Like, because we think of her as the sweet one,
Yeah.
but back in high school she was kind of a B, and so, but it turns out, and she's part of the reason she pushed her there or whatever. But then the trailers and your reaction, and also I guess hearing some of the songs and knowing they sing them together, I was like, oh, they're like more friends. But they were only friends for a little bit in this movie.
Well, the movie only covers the first half of the musical to intermission.
Yeah.
Despite being longer than the entire musical itself.
Which is like kind of my biggest note.
My biggest note is the
High E.
Is not even related to the movie. It's just the consumerism around Wicked, which is that you go into any store, you go into like an Ulta or a Macy's, there's some kind of Wicked collection being sold from every brand, and I'm like, I don't think this stuff is going to sell as much as they think it is, so it's going to, end up in landfills and stuff.
And you also, if I recall, you thought it was all about the Ewok. You thought all this was happening for the Ewok. You hadn't heard.
You didn't like that the Munchkins weren't actual little people. Is that
I didn't say that.
founded? Can I speak out
Are
of
you
turn?
guessing? Are you
I'm
guessing that?
I'm guessing, knowing you.
No, I didn't have an issue with the Munchkins, but I did think it was strange because it seemed like height isn't an issue in this world.
We have no baseline for it. There's just one really tall person in the entire movie.
Yeah, there's like one person who's tall, but then
Yeah.
everyone else is like, I'm from Munchkin Land, and I'm like, okay, well, you're taller than this
Munchkin
other
means
person.
something different. It's just the donuts in this one. The little Munchkins from,
Duncan?
Duncan, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's not a big deal.
I can't
You
hit
hit
those
it.
notes.
You hit it. You nailed it.
Bowen Yang under drums is Bowen Yang. He was great.
Bowen Yang was
Great
great.
comedic timing.
Great. Yeah, there's fun. A lot of fun comedy. I think so. I liked it. I think I liked it. I liked it with a butt. I liked it with a butt. I'll say I think both
There were
both
some
those
good butts
women
in the movie.
both those women probably deserve to get nominated.
For what are we thinking? Like a Heisman?
Yeah, for
Trophy?
a Heisman. Yeah, for WWE Hall of Fame.
James, you gotta say the
For
Oscars,
an
the
Oscar,
Golden Statuette.
but I think it also could be Golden Globe. I think we'll be seeing. I think this movie's going to get a lot of nominations
People's Choice,
and stuff.
Spirit Awards.
I think the two of them probably will get nominated, but I think I haven't seen The Field, but I will say that Ariana Grande's performance is one of the most nuanced things, and that's what I look for. Like, I believe sometimes it's harder to put your own spin on something like this, right? That also isn't a pure drama.
But and obviously there have been many Galindas in the musical too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how does she do her own unique performance while also hearkening back to those other performances that have come to shape the character?
Which I don't have those. I haven't seen the performance, so I don't know if she's just pulling it. But it didn't feel like it. It felt like it was through the lens of her funny, quirky self or whatever, right? And so I do think that she is, off the top of my head, up there for sure, Oscar worthy. And that's the kind of stuff I look for with Oscar worthiness, is like nuance. I always had an issue with what is it? Something River, or the Sean Penn, Tim Robbins
Mystic River?
Mystic River.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie, but he won the Academy Award because he's like, yeah, he's like crying in the rain and stuff like that. And I'm like, sure, but I think you could put most people in that situation and it'll look like a really good performance. I think it's harder to put in an incredible performance when it's something like this.
Gimme Box says, is this actually live? No.
No, this is pre-taped.
Pre-taped. Just live to tape.
I thought Cynthia was also good, but I think she had a more stoic character, and sometimes it's hard to splash onto the screen. I think the other thing that I liked is how much of the world was built. The trailer made it really feel like they were just a bunch of people on green screens. Yep, there we go. Thank you.
They couldn't be on green screens, though, James, because she's green.
Sure, right. But I think they could have done a lot of things and just made it this big special effects thing. There's a ton of special effects in it, but they're mostly to fill in the gaps, and it was clear that they built these sets that, like...
Some wonderful set pieces.
There's big sets and, like locations and stuff because they wanted to film choreography and dancing in it, and that's way better than if you're just getting like one shot of someone doing a thing, and it doesn't feel like a musical. So.
Well, and obviously they do digital mats for a lot of those sets too, and they enhance them and add things in post. But yeah, I think I agree with you. And a musical that I was kind of comparing it to in my brain as I was watching it was Les Mis, the one with Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe, because that musical felt like it should have such a large scope to it. Mm-hmm. It should feel grand when you're watching it, and it didn't. This one felt grand and grande. But yeah, it felt big. Like you're watching this movie and it feels big. You feel like you're seeing a ton of the world.
I think it's easy to think that because we have computers that can make all of our wildest imaginations appear real, there's something very important to having the textural thing, and I think also assuming the mantle of like Wizard of Oz, where they built these giant sets and these huge things. I'm glad that they did that a lot, and then I also think that like the costume design, it means that you get then real costumes, you get real makeup. It looks like a tarot deck.
Who is the better wizard for you, Jeff Goldblum or James Franco?
Well, again, I'm of course holding this movie up against Oz the Great and Powerful.
And are you holding space for Oz the Great and Powerful?
I'm of course holding space for Oz the Great and Powerful because it's a movie that I don't think anyone watching right now or anyone who basically lives or breathes doesn't think about on a daily basis. Certainly, people don't forget that it exists. I can tell you that much. But I did find Jeff Goldblum very interesting in his way. I was watching it thinking like, oh, he's the bad guy from Thor Ragnarok again. I felt like there's a lot of... That feels like how he got it. But I think I'm going to go Cynthia Erivo over Mila Kunis for The Wicked Witch. Because I honestly didn't hate Oz the Great and Powerful, but I think the issue is that it makes this 90-degree right turn right at the end so it can fit up against Wizard of Oz, and I'm like, no one cares.
Show of little baby hands in chat. If you've seen Wicked or you're planning to see it, I'm just curious. Because I imagine that this is a predominantly male audience as well watching this. Yeah, I think probably a lot of dudes in here.
Jessica Because is right there.
Hey, Jessica. Did you pronounce because? Because? Jessica Because?
Yeah, Jessica Because. Yeah, so I like that. I like the big set pieces. I thought the performances were good. I think...
Hang on, they want me to fix my hoodie string.
I always do this thing where I'm like really cynical about the industry. You were the one who was talking about how this year all of the top 10 highest grossing movies are all sequels or whatever.
Sequels, yeah, which
is going to end after this weekend, by the way.
Yeah, and we also, it's not the first year in the last few years that's been the case.
But it's like, not that, that's fine. That's fine because you have the IP and you can build on it, and people are more likely to go see something if they've already determined that they've seen the first one.
Bilal thinks the marketing made it look like Wonka.
Yeah, but
Do
Wonka...
you disagree? These are very different movies.
They are... I would say this is better than Wonka, in my opinion. For sure better than Wonka. One of my favorite games about Wonka is I liked Wonka, and I love that director. But I thought that I can't remember any of the songs except for Noodle Noodle, Toaster Strudel or whatever.
Did it make you hungry when you were watching the movie?
No,
Remy,
not really.
Come here. Come here.
But with Wonka, I also like how they built like a set. It seemed like it was less expensive, but they built a set. And then let's see, what other thoughts did I have about this movie? I thought you'd have more to share because you were like,
I don't want to spoil anything. And I do think it seems like not a lot of people intend to see it. I do think it's worth seeing, and that you will find it very, very impressive. Oh, this doggy wants hugs.
I have a whole thing where I think movies are kind of made from the hip too much now. I think because we have computers and because we have like, we announced that like Black Panther 3 is coming out before they've even started shooting Black Panther 2, that we get caught up in this like chasing deadlines and like making it up on set, and we're like, we'll just literally, I feel like big Hollywood is very much a we'll fix it in post kind of vibe, or they start special effects before they have a script. And I think that you'll always get better stuff no matter how stupid and terrible if you have an idea and then you write a script for that idea and then you give that script to someone else, because there's like a vetting process of quality.
James, check this. Check this then.
Yeah.
We saw Wicked with Zach's girlfriend, Carly. And she was telling me that Zach was watching a Gladiator documentary on the first Gladiator.
Okay.
And then one of the things he gleaned from that was that the Gladiator script was not finished when they made that movie.
Sure.
You're aware of that.
Sure.
Russell Crowe said that there were about 30 to 40 usable pages of material there.
Yes.
And that's regarded as an excellent movie. Now, you and I recently watched the extended edition, which neither of us had seen before, and both agreed that there is a reason why that is not the version you should watch, and it shouldn't be held as the like.
Despite the fact that I hadn't seen Gladiator in a while, but have seen it a bunch, I was like, that's extended. Like, it sticks out like a sore thumb every single time there's an extended scene. Some movies can survive that, but it's like, why would you decide to cook dinner while spinning plates? Just cook the dinner. Decide what you want to eat, follow the recipe, and cook the dinner. It doesn't mean that you can't cook dinner and spin plates because you're really good, but
well, you know what we should do?
What?
I should write a very, very simple feature. Okay? 90 pages max, maybe even 85. That just doesn't require a lot of locations, not so many characters, nothing elaborate, that you could shoot with, on your cell phone, right? Steal all the shots. And then I only give you like 40 random pages.
Okay.
And then you got to make this movie and figure out how to fill in the rest.
Okay. So you wrote the whole thing, but
I
then
don't
you're
give
removing random pages from it?
I give you about 40 of the 85 pages. And then we crowdfund it. We get $3 million.
Yeah, okay. I like
to
that.
make this movie.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Sight unseen.
But my long-winded point is that this movie, I think, is really good because there's really a lot of talent behind it, but it's also vetted, right? It's vetted by being a book and then a musical for 20 years before they ever did it. Like, we have determined that the story works, and that's kind of what I think needs to happen more and doesn't happen enough. But the takeaway is going to be like, oh, people want either musicals, or people want more Oz, or people want like the most basic
more
key
Franco.
terms. No, people aren't going to say that. But I think the most basic key terms, we should just start adapting every single musical that ever comes through, whatever. But I think that people will miss out that like a vetted story is always going to be better than one you're trying to make on the fly.
They're listening to us talk about Wicked, but today's the last day to
We've
watch...
been muted this whole time. I'm just kidding.
Today's the last day to watch Answer for It.
That is true.
Probably should have mentioned that.
We should mention that
10 minutes ago,
if you
or
want,
whatever.
if you're interested. We did Answer for It 2 weeks ago. It was a really fun
It's a comedy
show.
trivia show
Comedy
that
trivia
James
show.
hosts. I'm a panelist on it. It's like a British panel show.
Yeah. And we did it live at Dynasty Typewriter last week. It was really fun. We had a really good time.
But they do amazing live production, so when you watch it, it feels like you're watching a taping of something.
Yeah. And so you can only watch this one for 2 weeks since, and this is today is the 2 weeks. So I
Today's
believe
the last day.
I believe today is the last day.
So you can go to the Dynasty Typewriter website.
Yeah.
The link in my Instagram bio.
The link in my Instagram
You
bio
have a QR code there for it too.
I'll pop up if you want. I never know what to do with these because I'm like, well, are you watching it on a phone?
I know.
Are you watching me on a phone right now? How are you supposed to do that?
That's what I don't know. The QR code. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, so if you want to check out our second answer for it, now is the time because it's gonna be gone forever tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know about forever, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
for a while at least.
Well, I don't know. Lost media.
That's what I want. I want to be the owner of the most lost media ever, which is to say I created things and it all disappeared. The one last thing I was going to say about Wicked is that my one note is it's not a full movie. They split it into part 1 and part 2, and I do think
Like Smaug.
that's I if it was the whole thing, it made me want to see the musical because I was like, no, don't, like, this is the point where you go to a bathroom break, get another Diet Coke, and then go back into the theater and finish it. This felt like kind of like Matrix Reloaded.
And I'm sure when the part 2 comes out, they'll do screenings where it will be come rewatch part 1.
Yeah.
There's an intermission, and then you can see part 2 for the first time.
But I really did not like the split in this. I did not like the split. So that would be my biggest criticism of this movie is the split. The other criticism is everyone's looking at her like, oh, she's so strange looking. Look at her weird hat.
Wicked! Get her!
She's so weird and everything like that. You look around that room, everybody's weird looking. Not a single normal looking person on there. Everyone looks like Jordan Peele from the Gremlins 2 sketch. Everyone looks like the script doctor. And so the fact that they're making fun of her hat, and one of the people, I know it's intentional, but one of the people that's making fun of her hat is literally wearing like pink spaghetti on his head. I'm like, what are you laughing at?
I mean, I think that's pretty normal because whatever, like, social constructs change and what's fashionable. So
I know. But that's the same thing the issue I had with the substance, which is not really an issue. But it was like, Demi Moore looks at herself and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm hideous. I'm so old and disgusting. And I'm like, she banging in that movie. So, but I think that's the point. Still, a little tough for me when Spaghetti Head is making fun of her for her hat. Red Basket said, just saw Gladiator 2. Boring and lame.
We did see Gladiator 2 as well.
We did see Gladiator 2. Do you want to get into Gladiator 2?
I don't know. The way I've been just talking about it in a nutshell without spoiling any of it is that the first Gladiator had such a succinct character motivation and story, which was a general became a slave that became a gladiator that defied an emperor, and it's just boom, boom, boom. And you know exactly who Russell Crowe is. It makes so much sense that he brings his expertise as a general to the gladiatorial arena. He can command these other gladiators, and he knows all these maneuvers and stuff. I would say this movie is Gladiator 2, while still really impressive and entertaining in a lot of ways. For me, I found it lacking in some of this motivation and the awesomeness. Things didn't quite get as cool as I had hoped they would. I still hope people go see it because I think that this is a dying medium, or not dying medium, but a dying genre, as we really are only getting a lot of micro horror coming to theaters now, or we're getting sequels, or we're getting these, kind of like...
You just want more Gladiator stuff.
I want somebody to make more historical epics and things like that, which are not getting made because they're expensive and it's why anytime there's a great original like Heretic, we saw Heretic, which is probably one of my top 3 movies this year.
Yeah,
the Hugh Grant Mormon horror movie, and it is horror, and so horror is what's getting made right now. But I really do hope that people go see a movie like that because I'd like more of that to get made. Okay. Yeah. Remy's leaving.
I'm less generous about that because I think it's, I think I think if Ridley Scott wanted to make another movie about the gladiatorial era, you can just do that. Tons of directors work in genres, right? Like, I think no one goes. No one. It's like he made Alien and Blade Runner, even those are two sci-fi movies. It's not like they have to be related.
Sure.
Or if you made, it's like say he made Alien and then like 40 years later he wanted to make some other sci-fi movie. It's not like it has to be a prequel to Alien. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh
and
wait, never mind.
It could have been his version of the Roman Empire as Gladiator, where maybe Maximus was a real thing and the characters, and there's some reverence paid to him, but this is a different story. Bilal mentioned, or just had a comment there of, after 20 years, a sequel called Gladiator 2 can only really disappoint. I will say, yes, I get that, but also Top Gun Maverick is, I think, the new standard for how you make a sequel 25 years later, and I think it was so awesome, whatever you think of Tom Cruise aside. And I'm kind of maybe in the minority that, like, problems aside, I did really enjoy Beetlejuice. So
yeah, I think that's a really interesting thing. I think Gladiator is like, I've been saying, it's like top 20 movies that don't need a sequel, right? Like based on its ending. Like it's like up there with, maybe not top 20, but that like, like that's the top movies that don't need a sequel. Things resolved at the end. So the fact that there is a sequel is tough. I also, Elisa's point about Top Gun Maverick, I think is really poignant too. It felt like they wanted this to be a Top Gun Maverick, but it wasn't. And I think part of the benefit to Top Gun Maverick is a bunch of people got together to make a better version of the original. Like Top Gun, listen, I love Top Gun, but it's a product of its time. And if it came out today, people probably wouldn't love it. Like it's like that and Days of Thunder, they were these things that magically happened and we accepted them, but like they're not really that good. So it makes sense that then you would come back later and then you go, well, if we could make a good version of this, what would it be? Whereas Gladiator was already great. It was Best Picture, right?
Nico, it's not important.
What happened?
Nico Fabila has a question about. I did not bring.
To at least sneak a pizza into the theater in your jacket pocket. For me, it's important into the review.
We're not.
That's
talking,
great question,
we're not
Nico.
talking about Wicked anymore.
It does frame everything in my mind, and yes, she did. She didn't eat it though.
It was a piece of leftover pizza from a frozen pizza I ate yesterday. Tariq says, Tariq. Tarek says, Far and Away 2 would be amazing. I agree. Come
on, guys.
Far and Away isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
But the two of them doing their whole Irish immigrant thing.
Yeah. I also like Beetlejuice. I don't know that it necessarily needed a sequel, but it did feel, my biggest issue with it, because I laughed a lot, I was like, oh my gosh, Michael Keaton's still great. Winona Ryder's still great. Catherine O'Hara is still great. Like, all these people involved are still great. But my issue was it felt like over the last 35 years or whatever, they've been building a notebook of ideas that, like, if we did do another one, we could do this. And then they just put them all in the movie, as opposed to picking two. But
we've been playing Astro Bot.
Then the other thing we wanted to talk about was Astro Bot. Late to the party.
We're late, definitely. And I just want to ask everybody, is it intentional that the menu music for Astro Bot sounds so much like Muse's Starlight? Is that intentional, or is it just coincidence?
Maybe they're fans.
That
I feel like it sounds spacey.
It changes eventually.
Yeah, but I think that's because, like, in our mind it sounds spacey. Like minor chords sound scary. Whatever those notes are together sound spacey. But I definitely think someone was influenced. When you said it, now I can't unhear it.
Yeah.
But
awesome too. Awesome says James looking buff as hell.
Thank you.
Well, I look
thank
pretty.
You.
Actually, I don't look buff right now. I look scrawny.
Wow, the way you kind of fell out of that. Well, I look. Who am I kidding?
I look real scrawny.
You look great. So I saw someone on Reddit figured out what Gomez Adams' net worth was.
Well, how much
it's like $2 billion.
How is it? What are his
because of his
from?
investments. He has investments. Because
In
remember
what?
in the first Addams
Yeah.
Family movie, they talk about like his lawyer and he has investments, and I guess someone did the math to try and come approximately close.
How much
But
was it?
he owns salt mines. He owns salt mines and all kinds of stuff. But then he also, I guess, owns a. And I don't know if this is from the movie specifically, but all of his investments pay off. He doesn't do them to make money. He does them because they're fun. So there's some point where he's like, oh, he invested in like a gator farm because he liked it, but then it became a huge thing, right? Like, I just thought you'd appreciate that. You love your Addams Family.
So, but where did he have startup capital? Did he have inheritance or something? Does he go to work? Gomez never went to work. He never worked a job, like that he went to a job.
Well, sometimes managing the financials of your family is a job.
I think we'll be watching, hopefully, the Addams Family movies over sometime this Thanksgiving week.
Great Thanksgiving movies.
Great to watch over Thanksgiving.
I'm pushing for Fantastic Mr. Fox and Wayne's World
It's
too.
another great selection. I also think While You Were Sleeping would be a good one too.
Anyway, thank you. I've been working out a lot because I have a lot of free time because I don't have a job. So I don't have an excuse.
And
So I've
I
been
had to
working
stop
out.
eating 10 tiny chocolate bars every day.
I've been bulking her calories that she's not eating, I am eating.
I just had to stop eating so much sugar. I eat so much sugar. Or I have stopped eating so much sugar, but I usually eat so much sugar. Anywho, Astro Bot.
Astro Bot
Wow,
is great.
what a game.
Is great.
How creative, inventive, and then also just
But it's just by the numbers
seamless.
too. It's just it's exactly what I want. It's got a hub world that you add stuff to. It's got areas that you unlock. Right now we're in like the third galaxy or so. Right now where we are, it's not unreasonable to expect that you could 100% a level your first time through, which I love. But also, if you don't, it's not going to kill you to go back and find the last little robot or the warp or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
And these 3D platformers that I'm trying to think of the last time I played a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mario Odyssey?
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe?
Yeah.
Is the last one that I felt like really did some new stuff. It really utilizes all the abilities of the PS5 controller.
Mm-hmm.
You were blowing on it yesterday.
Yeah, there was one point where I had to blow in the backside of a frog, which I wasn't
you're
crazy about.
shaking it, doing all kinds of stuff.
It's yelling at you and doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
It's definitely a strong contender for Game of the Year. It's for a lot of awards shows, and I see why.
I'm trying to think because I've been trying to play less. I played Bolt Gun.
I want to play the Prince of Persia that came out this year.
Oh yeah, that one looks fun too.
Maybe after Astro Bot.
But I played Bolt Gun, which scratched exactly the itch that I wanted. I just wanted something that I could pick up real quick, play a level. It's like 20 minutes, and then put it away because I didn't want to get sunk into a game. But then we started playing Astro Bot together, and then I also on my own was like, maybe I'll give Death Stranding another try, which is like so far out of the realm. We'll see. I'm fine with it.
I just played Rise of the Golden Idol, sequel to Case of the Golden Idol, which was excellent again.
Yeah.
Prince of-
Awesome said, James, will you be doing another live show soon? We do not have a date locked for the next one, but I think I'd like to do more. And if you guys think of cool people that would be on it, you can let us know.
And it will be the case that you can see it in LA or watch it.
Yeah, we're always trying to stream them because, it's just the general feedback we've gotten is people are like, I wish you would come here and do that. They're like, do the show here. And I'm like, that's awesome, but that's expensive to do. I would love to, but that's really expensive. So I don't want people to not be able to not see it.
Number 87, Prince of Persia was amazing, but it gets pretty damn hard. Can you adjust the difficulty? Because I will adjust the difficulty on a game if I feel like...
I'm going to turn it back up.
If I feel like I'm not able to progress in a way that I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did I say Return of the Golden Idol? I meant Rise of the Golden Idol.
That's the new one?
Yeah.
Return and then Rise?
No. It's Case is the first one, then Rise of the Golden Idol.
Right.
And, you were just on 30 Morbid Minutes 2 weeks ago to talk about the untimely deaths of professional wrestlers. And then there's a second part that comes out tomorrow, Monday. Part 2 of us continuing that conversation, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And
That's our whole life.
Astro Bot, yesterday, we got to the God of War level, which was great.
Oh, yeah.
I was the one playing it, but you should just go
because
back
I had
and
done
replay
the Monkey Island one. No, Monkey Island.
That God of War one was
Monkey Ape Escape.
great.
Ape Escape one. I love the little gimmicks. They're super fun. But yeah, no, that's been good. Friday was a big night. Had a wrestling match. James Angel returned to the MPW arena.
I thought your previous match that you did last month was excellent, but I thought this one was even better.
Thank you.
Thought it was electric.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Electric, huh? Well, if you guys want to check it out, it is available to watch on the Millennium Pro Wrestling YouTube
well, you
channel.
can watch a minute of it, or
I'd have to pull it up. I have to pull it up, and then I'd have to set up the whole thing to be able to watch it and stuff.
I'll stall.
Oh my gosh.
Where's Remy?
He's scratching himself back there.
You don't know. No one's gonna know or how to watch this. I'm watching Happy Valley right now, which is a British crime procedural show, but nobody's really watched that. So.
You gotta stall. You said you have to stall.
I find it very entertaining and a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. So, Captain Stark, at least what did you think about the new Life is Strange game? Actually, I did a 5-part series. We reacted to every chapter with Blood and Huber over at Easy Allies. So I would go watch those if you want to know. Satan and Goose, the Astro Bot, stick all the food in my fridge and hide it around the apartment. I love those little characters. I think like being so self-referential could come off kind of cheesy or contrived, but I thought that all of the fun PlayStation references in Astro Bot thus far have been really cool.
I agree. All right, I'll show you a little bit of this, but you guys should just go to their YouTube channel and watch the whole thing.
Just a little taste.
Just a little taste. So James Angel returns, some new gear, taking on Busio. Now Busio, great opponent, but look at the size difference here. You look at the size
you probably got
difference.
at least 40 pounds on him.
I probably got at least 40, 50, 60,
some
70
fans
pounds.
in the front row over there.
He's quick. Yeah, there are some fans in the front row with a sign, which is funny. But so he's quick. He runs around. He moves around a lot, which good for him. He better stay out of my grasp. But
you're moving fast in this match too, because you got to keep up with him.
Well, I'm just trying to. He's zipping all around and getting me upside down and right side up.
He put his face in your butt.
He put his face in my butt. I go to grab him. Look at this. Just grips me immediately. But I'm like, it's okay because I'm much stronger. So I I'll throw him around and stuff like that. I don't remember what happens after this, but I'm sure I get him real good.
Aside here, Nico, my favorite Stephen King book is Salem's Lot. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Very
look at you,
pompous.
chicken.
I didn't chicken. He's very pompous what he's doing
Look
here.
at you, chicken out.
I didn't
Coward.
chicken. I don't know that chickening is the right
Coward.
word for that.
Tiny trunks.
They're saying actually they're bigger than the last ones, but he comes at me. Look at this guy. But I'm more powerful. That's the problem. So he has to use his caveman fist to try and get me or whatever.
Wow.
It's like honestly, it's like fighting a jungle child. That's what It's basically like fighting someone who is grew up amongst dogs. And wolves and such. That's what it felt like. They put me in there with someone who is just chaos. But he makes mistake, and the thing is, my expertise is I capitalize on those mistakes. That's one of my strengths. See? Oops. Didn't get me, bud. Big power. See that? And then I probably pin him for 3, but I don't remember. So, but I think you guys should definitely check out the match.
So you'll have to go see who won.
You have to go see who won.
At Millennium Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. Paint It Black, full show. Check it out. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. That was my Friday night.
It was my Friday night too. See, I'm in the front row.
You are in the front row. Some familiar faces there. I believe you got kissed in the hand at maybe
At some point in the show, I may have gotten...
At some point later in the show, you may have gotten a little kiss in the
We
hand.
don't need to see.
Well, I'll check it out for myself later.
No one needs to know. No one needs to know.
I'll check it out for myself later to see what's going on.
Welcome to Earth says, so when does James Angel turn evil? He is a heel. He's currently booed.
Well, I don't agree with that.
He's
I
booed.
think I'm fighting to win like everyone
He
else
comes
is
out,
fighting to
boo,
win.
boo, boo. Which for me is tough because obviously you're my husband, and so I want to support you.
Uh-huh.
So I'm with my little sign and everything, and so proud of you, and I want to cheer for when you do. But then I also need to boo you as part of the K-pop. Boo, boo.
Well, I mean, I just want to say this, that the Chatsworth crowd, they're tough. Fickle, maybe I wouldn't go so far as to say fickle, but they build these relationships with these locals, okay? And, you know, I feel like I should be welcomed with open arms into that world.
You
I
called
work
them
hard.
yokels.
I train
in the first
hard.
match you did. You called them yokels. And
Well, if
insulted
you
them.
yokel yourself, you're going to get called one. Okay? You act like a yokel, you're going to be called a yokel. And that's basically how it goes. So I think it's important to remember that I'm doing what every single other person that walks through those curtains do, and that's go out there to try and win. So I just think that's important. I just think that's a really important thing to do. So, you know, keep that in mind.
Uh-huh.
So I don't see how my actions are any different.
Well,
Just trying to win. Just trying to win. Just trying to win. So at one point I get booed for kicking. I'm sorry, it's a wrestling match.
Because it's like dirty. It's dirty.
Is it dirty to kick? Stone Cold Steve Austin kicks. Bret Hart kicks. Every single baby face that's ever walked the earth has kicked. Okay, so you're telling me I can't kick? Sounds like you might be a little biased just because I live in Hollywood, California.
We're running a 5K with Ryan Haley in a couple weeks.
Well, I don't know how much I'll see him during that 5K.
I think he's going to do great. I think Ryan, even though he maybe doesn't, he has a stamina because he's always out doing something.
Uh-huh.
So I think for the run, he's going to be great.
I think there's going to be controversy. I think he's going to call an Uber.
His girlfriend's doing it too.
I think there's going to be drama. I think we're going to catch him getting out of a cab.
I don't think he's going to cheat
The officials are they're going to strip him.
I don't think he's going to cheat in a 5K.
They're not going to find out right away. It'll be 6 months afterwards, and they'll strip him of his medal.
It's really not that competitive.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, that's about it. Thanksgiving's coming up. We're just going to watch movies.
Hang out.
That's about it. That's the sauce on the side.
My 420 says, "What's your body weight right now, James?" And we're not talking about like what do you
He goes,
say.
"What's your body weight right now, James? 190?"
What do you say when you walk out? What's the announcer say when you walk out to the ring? Because we know that's inflated.
Yeah. What do I actually weigh? 265.
You don't weigh 265.
265. Broke the scale this morning.
You don't weigh 265.
265. 30-inch waist. 30-inch waist. 265. I can't help how I'm built.
You don't. You're not built that way.
I can't help it.
I want people to calculate what James weighs, and the way that they calculated Gomez's
net worth. James weighs approximately 2 billion pounds. But yeah, that's it. That's the sauce. We want to talk about Wicked.
A little sauce on the side.
They both did really good. And
what do you mean they both did really? Oh, the women in the movie.
Yeah, the two leads did really well because they're on their press tour. They're doing all their press, and it's like it would appear to them to be the most important thing in their whole life. So I'm glad that I went and saw the movie, and I wasn't like, oh my god.
It's not even like, it's like she's got her finger. If you know, you know. But like they're doing the press tour, and they both have these very, very long nails, and like Cynthia Erivo has her hand out like this, and then Ariana reaches over and is like,
she comforts her.
She like grabs her finger.
She comforts her.
They're always touching. But I loved Wicked also because I am very into like stories about women with really powerful friendships like that.
Mm-hmm.
And why I love Broad City. Why I love like A League of Their Own. Castaway. So, you know.
Yeah.
The book is dark though. And I think there's going to be a lot of people now who go, oh, the musical. Oh, the book. They go to read the book and they are going to be a little bit surprised.
There was a mother who was upset with her daughter for not getting the color of icy in her cup that they had agreed upon before she bought it for her or something.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Her like 8-year-old daughter comes over and she's like, I told you couldn't get other flavors of that. Like
she mixed all three colors. It looked pretty, and she was like, Like, as though there's any less
I told
or
you you
more.
could only go if you got those colors. Oh,
Yeah.
what?
That's a fun note to end on. The only other story I want to share is we went somewhere the other day, and it was a parking deck, and then
I'm
we were
so
stopping
tired
for
of
the,
this.
we were
you
stopping
telling
for the
people-
parking.
It's a non-story.
It's not a non-story, and the person
can be shortened.
I'm doing it. The person put their stuff in their trunk.
What person?
The person who we were waiting on the car. That's clearly you. I was gonna tell the story. I would have been done by now.
This woman left her shopping cart.
She moved it behind the other car. She didn't put it away.
Okay, boomer.
She just shoved it there. No, I think that's a boomer move more than mine.
It's
is.
horrible behavior.
Yeah.
She's in the moral wrong.
Yes.
It's
And
shitty.
I want everyone here to know. And I want chat to shame this person. Shame them. They'll never know that they've
won't
been
know.
shamed unless they're watching, which I doubt it. But if they are, we're talking about you. So I want you guys to shame in the chat right now because I couldn't do it in person. Just unacceptable. The cart return was right behind them.
Okay, but
That's it. That's all. The only thing happening in my
You're carrying
life.
this anger that's eating away at you. It can't be healthy for you.
Yeah, but don't you want me to put it out here? If I keep it in, it'll eat me alive, and then it'll become my villain origin story. I go, what turned you? What turned you?
Let me see here.
And I go, the turning point was when I saw this woman do this.
Let me see here.
See, she's getting shamed. See, now I feel way better. I feel so much better. Somewhere she's, what's that feeling? As she puts carts behind other people's cars.
Oh, Adele's residency is over.
Okay, we've clearly run out of things to talk about. Thank you guys for hanging out and watching. I'm not sure, maybe a couple more hours the live stream tickets will still be available.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Is that...
Philip Seymour Hoffman. He would probably have been in Wicked if he was
I'm
still
gonna find
alive.
you. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna kill them. Mission Impossible 3. It's a great movie. Sorry, guys. Yeah. That's it. So, we'll see when we see I don't know if there's any other big movies coming out this year, are there? Moana 2.
There's the Robbie Williams documentary, December 25th. There's other. Let's see what else is coming.
That's
out.
Christmas?
Okay.
It's coming out on Christmas Day
I
for me?
think it,
For me?
Do
you guys want to hear us talk about movies?
No, they don't.
No. I do
let's
kind of
see.
miss talking
Okay,
about
so we're still getting Craven the Hunter.
That's this year? Or February?
December. It says December.
Oh, okay, all right.
We're supposed to get Night Bitch. We're supposed to get Moana 2. The Werewolves, Y2K.
Nosferatu. Someone in chat said Nosferatu.
Craven the Hunter, Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim.
Okay.
Super psyched for that.
Yeah.
I put in a little notification. I said, notify me when tickets are available.
Thank you, East. I'd rather it be Burrito.
Mufasa. Ooh, Mufasa.
Probably won't be seeing that.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Baby
I'm thinking
girl.
about Sonic because the movies don't do it for me, and I was like, why don't the movies do it for me? Number one, they're not made for me.
Nosferatu.
I said Nosferatu. And then number two, the other reason the Sonic movies don't do it for me is because I think when I play Sonic, the thing that I like isn't his fast-talking, cool cat personality. I don't ever think I thought Sonic was cool. I like the world he was in and the place. And so by putting him in our world, that's removed everything that I care about of Sonic, and the only thing that's left is...
You like Green Hill Zone.
Green Hill Zone. And that's just a billboard in the first movie or whatever, right? Don't they live in like Green Hill something? All right, we've clearly run out of things to talk to, but we'll be back next time with the Bob Dylan biopic review. Wonka's back, baby, and he's ready to sing.
He's getting early Oscar buzz, Bob.
Is he getting Oscar buzz? Can he beat Ariana and Cynthia Erivo? We'll find out this year at the Oscars special on the James and Elise channel.
Remy.
Thanks for saying hi, and now it's time to...
And the answer for it. If you do want to still watch it, it will be gone soon.
We're deleting it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.